Welcome back to a Windy City They Tan Watch, the channel where truth meets freedom, right here in the heart of Chicago. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated with our latest investigations, interviews, and insights. Your support fuels our fight for freedom and truth. So, let's dive into today's journey, armed with knowledge and the relentless spirit of the Windy City.
Howdy folks, WindyCityThetanWatch. I'm on the train, so it's probably a little bit loud, but I'm heading down to join up and support the skateboard crew in Ysireol. Should be down there. I'm at Clark and Lake, which is the top of the loop. There's 3 or 4 stops to get me through to LaSalle, and then I'll jump off and meet the guys. Looks like it's nice weather out there today. Hi, Bridge. How you doing? Just so you know, some of the people that were causing trouble the other night, they won't be able to anymore. So. We're 4 stops away or so. Looks like a beautiful day. I wasn't down in the loop today. I did see that they had people handing out flyers when Trashy and SRA pulled up. So I want to go down there and make sure that we can chase the people with the flyers. And hopefully you're hearing the sound fairly well. We're on the curve between Clark and Lake, and then as it goes down Dearborn, so that the tracks just squeal hard all the time. Nice. Yeah, I just want to make sure we've got people that are able to watch the back door, because as you saw me leave the stream on Wednesday, I caught Jessica and her buddy in the back alley trying to pass out flyers again. Train's pretty empty tonight. What time is it? Just after 8. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I was hearing on, when I was listening to Trash, it was choppy too, so I don't know if it's my phone. I'm going to turn off a few services real quick. So we're at Monroe. The next street will be Jackson, and then LaSalle. So the way the subway works, right, we're underneath Dearborn Street. On occasion, you see me walk away from New York, and I'll take you down some of the streets. This is the street where the 2 federal buildings are at. And the blue line kind of, it stays underneath Dearborn until between Jackson and LaSalle. It takes another drastic right-hand turn and heads out towards the western suburbs. So we're 2 stops away.
This is Jackson. Transfer to red, orange, brown, and pink line trains at Jackson. This is a blue line train to Forest Park.
The next stop will be LaSalle. We'll check and see if there's anybody on the platform.
Doors.
And then we'll head up and see what the skateboard crew in Ysireol are doing. I did find a Facebook page which has pictures of the upstairs of the Chicago org. So it's got the classrooms. I'll do a post on that maybe tomorrow. It's beautiful, pristine stuff, and I'm finding people who are. There's a Facebook private group called Chicago Scientology. Sorry, we're on a loud turn right now. There's a Facebook group called, hello Rhonda, how are you? Called Scientology Chicago, and it's a private group. I just don't have an alias Facebook account. And every time I create one, usually within about 24 hours, it's going to come down because they won't be able to, it doesn't look like a personally identifiable site. So we're at LaSalle Street. I'm going to head upstairs real quick. Nobody down here tonight. Welcome in, everybody. If you can, hit that like button. I know there's a lot of activity going on in Florida right now. There's always activity going out in Hollywood. And we've got several channels already up here down in Chicago. In just a second, I'm going to flip the camera around so that we can get my POV better. You don't have to look at my ugly mug anymore. 1 second. All right. Nighttime in Chicago. Always well lit up. We're on the Congress Expressway or Ida B. Wells, turning right or south onto Clark. And the org is just a block down. Well, block and a half. I've made contact with an Under the Radar, and they've got some interesting information for me. I'll see if I can create a story out of that. And then I've got another connection with an ex-Scientologist, and we'll do an interview. I am going to be on Nana Boss the Auditor on April 20th. I'm pretty sure the guys have out front, so I'm going to go through the alley. I'm going to head down here. It's very nice, very calm night tonight. No real wind. Nothing really going on down here. There's some motion at the very far end of the alley, but that's probably nobody here. There might be folks, I'll walk down there. There might be people smoking in the cubby holes. We just saw a little rat behind these garbage cans here. We're rather infamous for rats in the city, with all these garbage cans outside, and we're in basically a restaurant row, so there's all kinds of smells and foods that are attracting to the rats. If you were to look inside of this little cage here, there's rat traps all over the ground there. There's somebody walking a dog at the far end of the alley. Very unlikely to be a Scientologist is that pets. Apparently there are no thetans on pets. We've got the construction of the building right behind Scientology to my right and Scientology to my left. These lights are Columbia College, but then here's the doors to Scientology. Both closed. Now they'll come out and they'll smoke out here quite a bit, and then they'll route the staff members through here as well. I know the guys up front are talking about it, but want to see some sparkly new chain? So, hey, a girl, how you doing? So they apparently got the message. Scientology now has chains on their garbage can. That's awesome. All right. I'm going to head back out front, see how the crew is doing. I'm surprised it took them so long, because it's pretty easy to do that. Now we just have to wait for someday when the staff members get lazy and forget to lock it, because they'll probably have Confront here, right? All of those documents should have been shredded. We don't know if they're going to do better about shredding yet, but if they've got a lock on it, they might feel like, hey, we don't need to get a shredder. And again, someday somebody's going to forget to put the lock on. Oh, that's a good point. I'm going to have to figure out what the schedule is for this neighborhood. Now, that's private service, right? So those garbage cans are picked up by private companies, not city companies. But they will have a schedule. They're not going to want to come down here on different days. So with the 4 buckets back there, they're all waste management. We'll just have to kind of keep an eye out and see what days they do the pickups on. Oh, and the reason I say that is right, that they'll have to remove the lock if they want the garbage to get picked up. The garbage community won't, the garbage industry isn't going to hold a key for them to do this. Yeah, so I wonder which Scientologist they took the chains off of in order to put them on the garbage can. Coming down, we see imprint, right, 717. That's where we know that we've got staff member berthing. We see them go in there quite a bit. We'll see them cross the street quite a bit. Coming up on Paisans. Got a pretty full restaurant tonight. Nobody at the bar. And we're at the org. Right? Okay. So we can see all the way through. I don't know if have you gone back yet? No. There's new lock. Bright shiny chain, bright shiny lock.
I wonder how tight it is.
When did
you get out here?
Just moments ago. So I watched from the start.
They literally were here. Like I've been here since 4, and the doors were open. I was speaking to a few people, and somebody must have started their stream.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden we went from wide open to boom, 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 boom.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
How was your trip?
Nice, nice. So the conference went real well. It was nice. That's a beautiful community. Both of those are in really nice communities. You know,
Where was it then?
it's the greater area is San Jose, but I went to the Los Gatos, which is an ideal org, and Silicon Valley, which is really Mountain View, on the South Bay of San Francisco. It's the south of the San Francisco Bay. Yeah. Now what we have to do is figure out what the garbage routine is, because they're going to have to take the garbage, the locks off the night before.
I'll pay the garbage guys
Yeah.
to drop a few bags off.
Right. Yes. Nice. Yeah. My guess is, I was talking to the audience that they'll probably feel confident they don't have to shred since it's locked.
Yeah, yeah. That is probably true.
Right there.
That's a good point.
So. And I heard you talking earlier, right? The idea, I do kind of keep a wide berth, but as they walk by, I do make sure that I'm talking to them and whoever the flyer goes to. And then you've always got the issue that more often than not, the person's coming at you, so it works out well. If the person's going the other way, I try to get around them. But my suggestion is we don't make furtive moves or run quickly towards anybody. The cop did come out and he said, "Hey, you can't do that." And it's like, you can see on the video I was 20 feet behind him.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't even see that a cop had an interaction with you.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
He wouldn't give me an incident. He said, "There is no incident number." I said, "You got called out here. How is there not an incident number?"
That's hilarious.
So
Yeah.
he was rather cool, right? I mean, the guy didn't give me any problems or anything like that.
That's good.
Yeah, the problem is that they'll take it really seriously if it's their call.
Right.
Not
100%. And that's the same thing we're seeing in Hollywood, right? The idea
it's
that
worse. We actually have it easy compared to
Correct.
them. It's crazy.
and
I've been watching Will before he was on
Right.
Scientology, and it is crazy what goes on over there. Crazy.
I did find a YouTube page. There's one called Chicago Scientology. It's a private group, about 700 members. I doubt that we'll be able to slide in there, but let's make false or fake profiles. The other one is I found images of the upstairs here.
Oh.
So and they're clean images. It looks like they're the promo
Are they
images.
empty? Or,
So it's school year. It's like school desks. That the way that this works is you bring your materials to the desk of whatever course you're studying, and there looks to be like 8-track tape. It's not 8-track tape, but there's a cassette type mechanism in there where there might be some form of audio. But for the most part, you're a student doing self-study at a desk. That's what your course is.
how did you get those images?
They were just on Facebook. So they'll be, I'm sure that one day I came out here and they had a drone pilot out here. I heard you talk about drone as well. You'll need a Part 107 because if you put it on
You
YouTube,
do.
it's monetized.
You do
Yeah.
need something.
And so I already have the 107 and you saw that I had the images before. I just haven't come back out since. The one thing I'll say is that it's a lot to lug around
Yeah.
and
Not really.
it's good B-roll. It's not good primary.
Not worth it all.
Yeah. Yeah. So one Saturday afternoon, I'll drive down here when it's nice sunny weather, and I'll get nice images everywhere. But
Yeah, during the summer you'll be able to. But you won't be able to fly it from right here. You'll have to fly it. See,
no, you can do it here.
right here.
Yeah. So as long as you're on public, so the airspace is controlled by the FAA. The police can only tell you where you can stand or not stand, but this is public property, and you can't forbid me from flying on public property. Now, I do have to do what I can to keep it not above crowds. Like I couldn't have flown it over the crowd unless I would have gotten a written
But officially,
permission.
you fly it over that building.
Absolutely, 100%. Yep. You've got a 400-foot limit, and in reality, you've got 400 feet above whatever you're on. So you can go 400 feet above that
Wow.
building. Now, the one thing you've got here is
So you
we're
get
pretty close to
get
midway.
40 floors, 400 feet.
Yep. Oh, these things will go 2,000 feet in the air pretty easily.
No,
it's
I
just
know,
that it's
I'm
not
just
legal.
wondering
Yeah.
what you're allowed to do.
Yeah. And we are close. We're in the midway zone, not in the O'Hare zone. Yeah. So midway is down here just a ways. Howdy, everybody. Thanks for coming in. I've got your two channels on mute running at my house right now.
Nice. Thank you.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say it though. But Lex said, "Oh no, you said the M word." Yikes. Oh, we're talking about ADOA. That.
Okay. Oh, we got people heading to the back door. I'll go back there. Cool. Thank you, Jen. Hello, Mr. Longhair. How are you today? Hope you're healing up pretty well. You had a, I'm gonna classify it as 1A, right? You had a 1A video today. Hopefully that went well. We just saw two staff members kind of putting their backpacks on, getting ready to head out. 99% of the time, they're heading over to this building. So I'm just going to head down here and intercept them in the alley. You saw that Jen just put up the link tree. Yeah. I definitely appreciate any help that we can get. That money is just so that we can continually buy flyers, continually buy train tickets, continually buy equipment. Just so that we can upgrade these. I do want to upgrade my. I want to upgrade my StreamYard because I think that I'm only broadcasting at 720, and I hate it when I look at it on the TV at night. So I want to get it up to 1080. Yeah, so we got, she's got her cigarette. And another, the guy that was going to give interviews, but not give interviews, and likes to ask, what? So. Anything positive to share about the church? Has the church helped you? Have you helped the community? So they're not going to their birthing. They just headed south. The places that there are some long-term apartments here, like these. You used to be able to rent, like businesses would rent you an apartment for a place. This happens to be one of those apartment buildings that would have been those types of long-term rentals, or places where businesses would rent an apartment for out-of-town executives to visit and stay for their meetings. Again, they walked south. I don't need to walk with them. They're going to come back up the street and go up to the imprint. They're going further. I'll head across real quick. Now, part of this might be an attempt to lure us away. I don't think there were that many people in at that. There didn't look to be that many people in the org when I came by. So if anybody's watching or monitoring the other channels, let me know if they start flooding out over there. But this is the gentleman we've seen several times. I've got him on several videos. He would have been on Natalie's title screen on Monday, I think. So the next building, and it's probably not able to see that much, but the clock tower from the Dearborn station's right there. Beautiful building. If you go behind there, it's a residential area. I've taken you back there a few times. Back there, it's called Dearborn Park, and in Dearborn Park, there are several ways for pedestrians to get into that neighborhood, but there's only one way for vehicles to get into that neighborhood. So now they're crossing the street coming north. This is Roots Pizza, and it's kind of cool that that top floor, they can open up. They've got a sliding glass roof up there, and they can open up that area, and just nice place to be in the evening. If you're watching sports, it's more of a sports bar. They claim this is Quad City style pizza, which again, I feel like Quad City is such a niche Illinois thing, or maybe Illinois and Iowa, that nobody would know what a Quad City pizza is. They're baked on cookie sheets, not on they're not baked on round pizza tins. Just kind of hanging out here to see which direction they go. There is a red line entrance right there as well, so they might be walking down to the red line. But no, they're going north on Dearborn. So what they're going to do is they're going to walk up to Harrison, and then they'll walk back down Clark on the other side of the street. So I think this was mostly just to try and pull me away from the org. I don't think that was the original plan to come over here. How you doing, Veda? Hopefully you're feeling strong. Oh, you've heard me before talk about the half sour place. So this is their kitchen prep. So on the weekends, it's really fun. They're making their pastries, the donuts, the bread. It's all being made right there in the window. Howdy, Heather. What else was interesting today? I've been scouring. So Trashy's find was just gold with all the names that are on there, and I've kind of been following those for all kinds of names that I can try and find on social media. And I am getting some behind the scenes help from some under the radars and some ex Scientologists. Still trying to schedule something with Tori because Tori's in-laws were the ones that really started the Chicago Scientology orgs. I'm going to keep my eye across the street because, well, they can do one of two things. I don't know if a resident can walk in the back door of the imprint. There's an alley back there, and there are garage overheads, but I don't know if there's walk-in doors. So I'll keep my eye across there, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to walk back down the street on they'll walk back down Clark on that side.
Good to see you guys.
How you doing?
So, wait, we were watching on the thing, but were all the trash is locked or just one?
Just theirs. So, and it's a brand new lock, so it is theirs.
You heard what he said?
No.
So that's a student.
Oh, I didn't even
That-
say
Yeah.
that.
He knew from the Jewish community.
Right.
There's security guards sitting in this car right here.
Yeah, I
He's
saw.
not like a
it.
religious kid, but he came all the way from Florida to go to school here, and he said it's been making they like the students like viscerally hate it. Like, they can't even.
Right after you guys walked away, is people that live somewhere right down there.
Oh yeah,
walked
tell me about
past,
that.
And they asked if we were live streaming, and I said yeah. And they said something about contacting the alderman because all the garbage cans are locked.
So they
And
locked
now
all
they have to walk all the way down here to put their dog poop in the garbage.
Nice.
They were pissed. Like residents, they said that the day of the opening,
She was really mad.
She was really mad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It was a nightmare. If you lived in this neighborhood, the idea that it's your castle, right? And the
Yeah.
castle doctrine says, I have access to my castle.
Yeah.
And that they are getting frisked and
That guy
Scientologists touched that guy that she was with. He said, and
And he
They
looks like
wouldn't-
a guy that doesn't.
Yeah, no,
nobody
he had
fuck with
a
him. It's
scary
like,
looking dog with him too.
yeah, exactly. Really cool dog. That looked like almost like King Corso. But he said that they said, "Where's your ID?" He said, "Where's my ID? I'm on public property. I don't have my ID. I live here." And he got in eventually. They gave him problems.
oh yeah. And they will, and they'll even lie to the point of making you. It's just like what cops will do. They'll
Right,
lie
make
and
you
intimidate
believe
you and think
you're
that.
wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
So
We were here and the firefighters came because
Were you heard that time?
yeah,
I know which
Yeah.
time. Then.
yeah, he came up to me and touched me and tried to like get me to go into the road to talk to him. And he was like, "You guys can't be making close calls."
Yeah.
And I was like,
and the Cicalas are the ones that run the Dream Exchange. And while they didn't list Jessica as an employee, Jessica self-identifies an employee of the Dream Exchange. The other one is Joe. So the Joe Cicala that's getting married,
yeah,
so he's the ED, the executive director of this particular of Chicago. Additionally, his parents are big funders, so they run the Dream Exchange, which is considered a minority. It's the largest minority-owned stock exchange, and I'm going to say, okay, fine, questionable on that. But if you look through their page, so it's dreamexchange.com or .org.
Right.
If you look through their About Our Team, 9 of the people on that team are have done some form of Scientology. They show up on the completions course.
I was going to tell this trashy, and your channel, man, you guys might like this too. So I finally got through to my friend. I have a friend, Mohammed, and I spoke to him. He's like a leader in the Islamic community, and he told me that like for a long time they've already had problems with, I guess it's Farrakhan's communities that's connected to Scientology, and they don't accept them. Did you know this? They don't accept the Nation of Islam in Islam.
Correct. Yes.
They
Yeah.
do not accept. They like my buddy told me not even remotely.
Yep.
He said they don't consider them as a faction. Nothing. Have a good night. Literally, they don't even consider them a faction.
Me too, Max.
Whatever. And he was saying that they've been preying on that community heavily.
Right.
Since they opened here, they've been putting a lot of pressure on people on the south side that are part of the Nation of Islam to come down
Correct.
for auditing and whatever else they do.
Yep, they're seeing in the chat. So what happens is it's not multi-level, but it's single-level marketing. If you bring somebody in here, all of their spend, you get 10%. So we saw in Trashy and SRA's find that you can see the there's a form. I don't know what the name of that form is, but it's this is the person I brought in, and it's, let's say, a Middle Eastern name, naturally most likely Nation of Islam, and the sponsor is also them right now.
It's crazy.
find anything good?
No.
I was just telling him that he was explaining it better to me. You can explain to the channel, but what I was going to say for your channel was that I spoke to a leader in the Islamic community, and he was just mentioning to me that they don't consider the Nation of Islam to be part of the Islamic community at all. But he's highly aware that they've been preying on that community on the south and south.
Hey, Mexican, not sure if you mentioned it, but I know that you're healing. Hopefully you're healing well. you'll be back to full strength soon. But they're going to the bar across the street. We kind of keep up on the window here to see who else is going to go out the back door. As we look back there, I love when you're here at night because you can see right through there. And I think that on the camera, at least I can see it in the camera, and it looks like you can see all the way through.
I mean, local elections are not happening for another 2 years, but they have a lot of power. It was as crazy as it seems that literally something. I mean, this couple.
So the org's open for what, another hour and a half ish? Yeah, so 9:30 to 10 tonight. I smell sarcasm, but I appreciate it. Very large suited black man just walked out from behind the coffee counter. We've got the somebody at the desk on the phone. I'm sure they're calling the police to say we're trespassing or they don't like us or we're just icky. As I loved it when the one guy came out to try to pull the public back in, and the staff member said, "Hey, don't listen to these guys. They're jerks." I'm like, oh, excellent. You must have done great in 5th grade. Tomorrow, I'm going to put up a post with a bunch of pictures and some Facebook posts that I've found around here. Oh, the somebody created a clip of dancing. The dancing clip.
Yeah, Cross is trying to get you to clip me. Oh, okay. They had my emails. I have all your dancing clips all in my footage. I just don't know what you just gotta go through it. I have a clip of all of it.
It looked like I saw that you can touch zoom on yours. So in the Prism, you can touch zoom.
I'm not on Prism right now, but yeah, you can touch Zoom in Prism. Sorry.
Gotcha. I'm gonna have to get used to one of those.
Oh yeah, she's an excellent mom. Yeah, Ellie is awesome.
Asking for a friend. That's awesome. Hello, Sybil. That seems like a new name. Welcome aboard. We're out in front of the Chicago org right now. It's been pretty quiet here tonight. When the skateboard guys came up, SRA and Trashy, they saw somebody passing out flyers, but he hurried back into the org when that happened. Wednesday, I was able to follow around the flyer brigade for quite some time. What else we got here tonight? Tonight that they still send their staff out the back door now because they just don't want to. They don't want the pressure of the audits and protesters out front. They're not supposed to really be on camera. I looked at facial recognition today, and I couldn't find anything that would be at all helpful. And they all look to be pay-to-play processes. But I really do want to start getting some of the facial recognition of some of these people so I can see if I can find them on, Instagram posts, Twitter posts, that kind of work. Oh, Sybil, this is a good story. So the two guys that you saw me with back there, right? Trashy and SRA, and we can get their channels up in just a second. about 2 weeks ago, they were out here and they went through the garbage. They went through the trash container, and they were able to find a whole bunch of documents and things like who is in the Sea Org World Tour. So who are the people that are Sea Org members that are traveling around to these organizations as they open up and kind of seed the population of the staffing teams. They would show tax forms. They showed healthcare enrollment forms. They showed the sign-up forms. So in Scientology, if you're a field staff member, if you're the FSM of a Scientologist, every dollar they spend, you get 10% of it. So there was, that was in the trash. What else was in there? Oh, people just showing their daily affirmations or their daily to-do tasks were in there. Trashy went on Aaron's show. Folks, I'm guessing. I'm going to say it was Wednesday night. I'm not positive, but it's not that hard to search Aaron's show. But you'll see all of the documents that were pulled out of there. And there is kind of a rule in Scientology that there should be a shredder and there should be garbage. And all of that stuff should have gone into the shredding machine. So yes, somebody messed up, and some of those names on there are going to get in trouble. One of the things that I thought was interesting, I can't remember the person's name, but it was Shelly something, and she was the one that wrote down her, hey, my computer's broken. Can you send the computer guy here to fix my computer? She shows up on that world tour sheet. In the third column, about halfway down, you see her name there. So she's a Sea Org member. She is going to probably get herself in a little bit of trouble there. And what was interesting is I went home that night. Oh, it was funny that they called us early. They called the police on us earlier today saying we were stalking people. And it was very funny that somebody came out to confront them, and the person followed them for several blocks in a very menacing manner. So I was just trailing him and saying, hey, are you stalking them? Yeah, let's go ahead and share the video. I think that's the, or you know what? Maybe point to a short of Trashy, or Utology is a pretty quick version of it too. I've just given you 27 things to do. Sorry about that, Jen. I think the Utology one is the quickest way to get there. But I want to kind of, hey, make sure that you go over to Trashy and subscribe and watch it over there. And SRA. SRA and I still need the hours. I think Trashy's monetized now. But anything would help us out there. Oh, I remember that night talking to the guy saying, boy, you know they're going to be at Home Depot in the morning getting locks. And it's been 2 weeks. So tonight there is a lock back there. I don't know if you saw that earlier in the stream, but I got a picture of the lock. There is a lock back there, but it took them 2 weeks to get that done. Maybe the donors were out of money. Let's do the Utology one, because it's only 10 minutes and it sums up everything. But yes, definitely, I would say give us a link to Trashy's channel and give us a link to SRA's channel. Please, and thank you, Jen. I know I gave you 27 instructions there.
Yeah, very true. Stuff out the back of it.
Yeah, there's not. It really seems kind of slow right now, so I don't know if they're on course or what's going on there. But we see the person at the desk, and then we see the guy at the barista counter.
Yeah.
Oh, they're for sure.
Oh, there's something right there doing something.
What's up?
Oh, you're fine. I don't know. They're moving around behind that
Okay.
door.
Oh yeah, there's a big crowd right there. Oh, kids! Look, there's
I
kids.
wonder if they're going out.
I'm gonna head back there real quick. Yeah. Thank you, Sybil. By the way, I keep on saying SRA. It's severe reality adjustment. We just saw a couple of kids putting their coats on. So they might come out the front, but SRA is standing in front, and then trash is going to go to the top of the alley, and I'm going to go to the bottom of the alley. Tell me it's something good. Yeah, I don't know if this is one of the scams, but if you look up Chase Wave, that's definitely one of the scams that they have. So, oops, they would open up credit cards in their members' names, max them out, and then just default on the payments. Sybil, I'm going to look that up. If you can do me a favor, can you send me an email just to remind me to do that? Here's my email. Thank you very much. I will say that more often than not, they try to figure out ways to distance themselves from the actual act. Thank you, Sybil. The other one that, boy, is Mike Brown's mother's Chitwick. I think her name is Chitwick, but they did financial fraud on her, and then they also were kind of denying her her medical needs in that space. Thank you, Carrie. That's awesome. It's really funny. I've got a sign. Funny. Sorry, I need to use better terms. It's somewhat demoralizing. I've got signs that list 8 crimes on them, and they list the crime, and they also list who it actually happened to. So it's not just a, hey, this cult does child abuse. I've given you the names of the people that are committing this child abuse. Oops. And we still see people go into this organization after reading that sign. And that's an abbreviated list of crimes, right? That I can't put every crime on the list there. Oh, you know what else I thought was awesome this week? And I think it was yesterday. So somebody else just came out the back. Let's see if they go up towards trash or if they come my way. They came down this way, but it looks like they're going to a car. Jay did a great job yesterday out in Denver. So what he did is he just got chalk, and when I last saw him, he had written all the names from Liz Gale, and I think that Liz Gale has a website out there with the names of the children that Scientology failed, liz-gale.com. He got 5 blocks by the time I stopped watching, and he was just writing all the names down on that sidewalk outside of the Denver org out there. Thank you so much, Mexican. I really appreciate that. Liz was out at Hollywood. Boy, I'm going to say it's a month ago now, somewhere in that range. And it was the first time she had been back since leaving Scientology. And she had brought a paper scroll with all these names. Yeah, how about it? And I like that people said, oh, you shouldn't have worn black because you're going to get colors all over everything. It's like, I want people to know I did the work. That was awesome. I saw another one. I think there's only one person in Pasadena. No idea who the channel is, but I watched that today. And this guy is such a merciful person. He had a lot of water, a lot of food. There were homeless people behind the Pasadena org. He was helping them out, handing them water, food, in addition to protesting the organization. You know, the police came. The police were really cool with them on that. And again, we keep on getting calls for. Yeah, I love that, to see Jay's pants. And then he had people coming back and restocking him with restocking him with new chalk. But that Pasadena person, you know, he had the police called on him, and Scientology calls the police for the most ticky-tacky reasons, and I don't understand why the police keep on responding to this. So, was that MD Media? I didn't know. I went to the channel, and I'm actually subscribed to MD Media. Oh, that's probably why I came up on my lives. But they call the police here, and more often than not, the cops are pretty cool here. That there's a couple of cops that I just think are jackalopes, because they'll go in, they'll listen to the Shore story, and for those of you that are new, Shore story is the idea that Scientology can lie about anything as long as it's good for the greater good, you know, if it meets the greater good concern. So they are supposed to tell the truth to themselves, but when it's to anybody outside the organization, they're fully allowed to lie. And they'll tell these people such short stories about what we're doing and we're criminals and all of this. And then the cops will come out and it's sort of like, well, if you saw me commit a crime or you think I did something to do a crime, let me know. But otherwise, piss off, right? More often than not, the police to me have been, you know, super chill. They know that I'm not doing anything wrong. Yesterday, the Scientologists called the police on me because I was following around the people that were handing out flyers. But if you'll notice, I was 20 feet behind them at all times, and I would only make contact to the people they handed the flyers out to after they handed the flyer out. And that's really my goal. If you're newer here, I don't think that I'm going to get older Scientologists to quit Scientology. But I want to do whatever I can not to let them grow here. So when they're out passing out flyers, I'm out behind them telling everybody they pass out a flyer to the information. What are the crimes? What's the cost of Scientology? What are the personal freedoms that you're going to give up in order to join this place? I do love that. They're the most ethical group. And then the other one is, right, communication is the key to success, or they have some little cute saying about communication, and yet none of them can communicate. If you saw earlier, right, I asked the two Scientologists, tell me anything positive about the church, and they were unable to tell me anything. There's the security guard going back in. Damn straight. Thank you, no one. Thank you. I've got to get better at remembering that phrase, because I think that's a key phrase. That communication is a universal solvent. So just tell me, talk to me, communicate with me, fix me, clean me. And no one, I sent you a message today. Hopefully you got that.
So where's Glasses guy?
Where's what?
Where's Glasses guy?
They went inside.
Did you? I didn't see the kids come out the back.
Did you get updated what just happened?
No.
I don't know if you want to mute or not, but this guy like came up there and he's like asking him, he's like, so did your friend find his wallet? Because you know we turned his wallet into the police station. Like, what are you talking about? He was for sure making that shit.
Right.
We would obviously know if someone lost their wallet. Dude, it was weird. And he pretended to be on the phone at first. He's
Yeah.
like, hold on.
Here's the same thing. So this guy was just out here.
Yeah, that guy. The guy with the glasses.
I have no idea why so he just came out the front door again.
Yeah, that was very odd.
Yeah.
Your water is right here.
Always with the phone. I'm telling you, he's so full of shit. No one is on their phone that often.
Hey, Laura. Thank you so much for joining in. I would love to chat with you someday. So what happens is there's one of two things happening here. He's either talking to a higher commander here or he's on the phone with the police. And they've had the police out here. No, yesterday. I don't think we've seen the police tonight yet, have we?
Super clear.
Is it? All right.
You're getting great.
So he's going to the back door. I'm going to go to the back door real quick. Laura, you're my favorite goldenrod gal. Love the music. I will say this. I'm an old. I like songwriter, storytelling songwriters, and I love the stories that you tell with your music. I also like people that perform their own music, so I think that's really cool. Yay. If you were just joining, Ysireol, one of the guys, he joins us to protest quite a bit. He has a channel, but he's more out here just that he believes in the cause. So I love that. He didn't have a camera. He doesn't have a channel. So he was out there for about an hour and a half before Trashy and SRA showed up. And he said, oh, windows are open, doors are open. You know, they're out talking to him. They're almost trying to recruit him. And then as soon as the streams lit up, he said all of a sudden all of the shades came down and all of the doors closed. So it's another one of those things where we're just crushing their retail space. Wednesday, you would have seen that I was chasing down everybody they handed out flyers to let them know the information about just a short list of the crimes that this church commits. If you look at the far end of the alley, that's Trashy down there. I don't know if anybody's coming out. They will start coming out pretty soon. There are a couple of young kids in there right now. Now, normally, you know what? I'll walk down there then, Chris. Thanks, Christina. I'll walk down there real quick. And again, I don't know enough about the organization, but there will be somebody who I would say feels like a mother will be in here with their two kids. The two kids are just kind of running around the hallway on the bottom, and not running around, but just they're on their own downstairs, which I assume she's on course, and they just get babysat by the rest of the staff members. I will. Thank you, Allie. If you didn't join me earlier, we know that Trashy got into the garbage cans and was able to pull quite a few documents out, very informative documents. And now if we come up there, we're going to see that they've got a lock with a brand new shiny chain on it. Okay, thank you. I'll go back up. You know what? SRA probably has the kids on there, but let me show you real quick, right? We've got this on here. What I'm wondering is, so there's a car coming down the alley, which by the way has a light out. So this is the new lock. And I'm wondering if they were calling to get somebody a ride. Because I think that the public are kind of getting pissy about the idea that they have to walk past the protesters all the time. %. And while I won't say that, hey, they're that the kids are being indoctrinated right now, if the parents are being indoctrinated, then we know the children are next, right? So this is the back door of the org, right? These are the two doors that are most often used. This door will get used on occasion, and some of the older staff members they'll pry that door open and smoke, because all these are key locked, so they can't get back in once they use it. And then this door is just a roll-up door, but I've never seen this door up on this process. Yeah, it's really scary stuff. On Easter, I was so sad to see so many families with young kids go in there on Easter, and it was like, for jelly beans. I'll go buy you jelly beans. Don't go in there. The only thing I could tell them is don't give them your real name at that point in time. 2 weeks ago, we saw the woman with her 2 children. One of them is going to be 6 to 8 years old. The other one's going to be maybe 12 to 14 years old. On Monday and on Wednesday, they were in there for 6 hours each. So that's 12 hours these kids are down here. And they're here until 10 o'clock at night, right? I've definitely seen people walk in there with their families. I saw an ugly thing down at, when I was in Silicon Valley, this past Monday or Tuesday morning, I was in Silicon Valley. And they've got 2 buildings there. And the one building over the doorway, it says Purification Center. So they've got just a spot dedicated to that. And it's publicly visible that that's what this place is, right? And then the other big door on that building was the chapel. And then they had an entirely different building, which looks to be, I think that we call them test centers, but these buildings that just have the banks of video machines and books that are for sale on there. Today on Facebook, I found some photos of the classrooms that are upstairs. So it's a 7-story building. The students that came out the first day, some of the students toured it from Columbia College. And the students that toured it said it's just classrooms all the way up. So that makes perfectly good sense. There's no residents in this building, but they do use the residents right across the street. So they're in this 717, this very tall building right here. It's the tallest building on Clark in this block. And the maintenance workers are saying that there are up to 9 people in a studio apartment here. The other one is just to see these older women who, right, they've definitely got curvature of the spine, showing some weaknesses in the cartilage and the calcium, and they struggle to even step up on the curb here, right? Like it takes them 3 tries to get up on the curb. They should be enjoying their retirement at this point in life. Heading back up to the front door, I like being here at night, because at night, even though they have the blinds down, you can see all the way straight through. Hello, Helgear. Great to see you again.
That's the gate. Nice man.
Okay.
Oh,
No, I don't think
so
that's
they
him.
just came out. I don't know if
That's not him. That's not
I
him.
won't say any.
Can you share anything positive about the church? Is there anything positive about the church? Are you allowed to have opinions about anything? Thank you, Michael. Are you okay protecting these criminals? You have a background as a police officer. And these people protect crimes. They didn't let Danny Masterson's women come forward for 20 years. He raped 3 people. He's convicted of them in jail. This isn't an accusation. This is a crime that this church committed. This church puts children in front of adults who have the most perverse minds and makes them listen to the most perverse stories. This is what you're protecting your city from, right? Chicago's finest protection. Let Blue Star know.
So what they did was they came out and they gave me trashy, and the main guy that always comes out that has glasses is like, you know, we found your wallet, and he starts saying Trashy's name like, you didn't find any wallet, right. And then so Trashy's like, okay, thank you, and then he's like, well, you have our stuff. That's what he said, like as if like we're gonna make some trade, you know?
Yeah, nice.
Like, what are you talking about?
That is awesome.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, now I would say we have copies. You can have the documents back. Give me $1,000. I'll give you the documents back. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I got documents back.
No, exactly. I really think you're excited in a different chat. The butt hardness is so clear. Later today, the call, Scientology, the call.
Did they say the real name?
Oh yeah, they said his name.
Okay.
They were just trying to dox it.
Yeah.
They just wanted to dox it.
Yeah, we knew that.
Guys,
Yeah, we knew
so
it before.
At the end of the day,
Right.
It's nothing to me.
Yeah, I've told people the same thing, that, you know, I'm pretty sure they have my name, but until they say it, I'm not going to say
I knew they
it.
were going to find my name at some point. That was a little
Of
surprising.
course,
but,
dude.
you know,
Like I don't mind saying this at this point. I don't care if it's not. They went. My dad. Like, my dad
So what we're seeing right now is there's 4 or 5 staff members sitting at the administration desk. This is kind of the reception desk. And then further back, it looks like it's a public in that area. Nobody on this side. The way that this building is kind of laid out is you got these 2 main hallways, which is the media bank. And then right behind this door is their cafeteria. And then a little break room behind that. And then the vertical elements of the building are in this section right here. So if I was to go back here, I would see stairwells and elevators in this area. I'm very surprised that people with a criminal background, police background, would tolerate this. And then there's the other side that says, if you pay me, I guess I can defend the crimes that this church commits. %100% correct, right? Once it hits the curb, it's free game. So the next time that Trashy was here, he went back out there, and one of the staff members kind of came out and closed the door. And they do have the right to close the bin on you. And if they want to stand out there and protect it, that's absolutely fine. Agreed, Laura. And I'm devastated. The reason I'm here is because of all the second gens and the stories that I've been hearing. I've told everybody quite blatantly, I don't think I'm going to get anybody to leave Scientology, but I'm going to do whatever I can not to let them pull new people in. The place that they can still get, that can kind of blindside me, is they can go inside of the college dorms because they have students that are already indoctrinated. So that's out of my sight. But when they're out here on the streets, I follow them around like crazy. I've chased them off the train platforms. And again, chase is an incorrect term. They can't stand the light of public. They leave when they're being on camera. I will say that I really do appreciate when we've got more than one person out here, because we can cover the front and the back at the same time. If we look down there, okay, we've probably got smokers out there right now. which kind of makes sense, right? When we were up front, we saw, 4 or 5 staff members at that the reception desk, which tells me they were between duties. I don't know if that means courses, if that means chores, whatever the case may be, but there was an influx of people at the front door. Normally, there's nobody down there. Dave, YouTube will let you watch it again for free later on. I appreciate it, though. Now we're going to see if they can use their universal solvent. I'm making them smoke faster, I think. I do love the old L. Ron Hubbard saying that most people get cancer because they don't smoke enough cigarettes. If communication is the universal solvent, why can't you communicate? What are you hiding so much? Why are you hiding? I feel bad. I broke up their smoking clutch. Ooh, it does smell like smoke too. What else has been somewhat interesting down here? Now, you saw the video on Aaron's channel the other day when the Nation of Islam person was in here. I've seen a couple of the people that were in the audience here several times. We did see on the forums, we saw on the forums that Nation of Islam, people with names that would likely be involved with Nation of Islam were on the, field staff member forums. So they were signing up new recruits so that they could get the 10% bounty on all of their coursework. Just a reminder, this alley, it really only has 2 entrances. On the church side of the alley, those buildings all have doorways, but there is no, you can't get from the street to the alley except by the top and bottom of the alley. Laura, not sure if you've been here before, but this is the immigration court in Chicago. So this is just another one of those incredibly scary elements where you've got people putting foot on in the United States for the first time, not really having a background or a support system, and they're just easy prey for the church to come over here and proselytize to them. As we go down here, so this used to be an entirely manufacturing district. It's now 100% residential. There's no manufacturing down here, light or otherwise. You've got the immigration courts are right here. If we look forward, that's Columbia College at the T intersection, the 2 blocks down, that's Columbia College. The DePaul University is over here. I'm sorry, that's Roosevelt, that's straight ahead of me. Columbia is right next to the university. There are 2 other Columbia residence halls that are in this area. DePaul has a residence hall in this area. Robert Morris has a residence hall in this area. So it is a target-rich environment. Did they head back there again? Okay, I caught 2 smokers. So there were 2 people smoking back there. I got up to them. They went in right away. The bald guy and a female.
Okay. I think they're trying to let somebody out back there. Like, there's a lady sitting on a bench that's
with the hood?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna walk all the way around. On Monday night, I was at the org in Los Gatos, and I did a private video first because I didn't want them to know I was coming. And I walked to the back of their property and to the front of their property, and by the time I was walking back to the front, they'd already closed the doors. And within about 15 minutes, they had closed all of the blinds there. My suspicion is that that surprised them that I showed up, because I don't think that there's been protests there, and I don't think that they broadcast, by the way, we're under fire from all the protesters. It's only the organizations that are affected. They did call the police, and I did get a trespass warning while I was there. The police were super cool. No problem with what I was doing, but hey, they claim it was their property, so I decided to vacate that. The next morning, I was there at Silicon Valley, but it was before they had opened up. Looks like SRA's got a crowd. Yeah, Dave, I was wondering that. Does Nextel still exist? So is there still push-to-talk phones?
The traffic children here. This is another gentleman that knows.
Yes.
So they live right here.
Yes.
And they were saying they don't
They
know
want to
much
know what
about.
harm they bring.
Well, what harm does this church bring? So
Right.
maybe you respond.
So you did hear about it. So as they were going through there.
I did read about
Yeah.
it because there was a big move to do when they opened. It cost them a lot of money to do that.
Were they good neighbors when they opened?
Well, they were mindful because they blocked
But
the
they closed. Yeah.
traffic. They closed the traffic, but they hired special people because we parked there, lived there. For us, it was extreme.
Did you know none of these people could get in? Right. None of the students could get in.
We could not get into the
Right.
trash, but they helped us. Anyway, it's not unusual.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't pass any judgment on the religion.
But here's the
That
thing.
is
But we're
not-
different. Here's the difference. In Judaism, in our religion, do we ever traffic children? Do you ever send? Have you ever heard of people sending in our community, like sending their kids to some place where they're doing crazy things and hearing about things
I
like
did not
sexual
hear
activity?
Well, you know what's
That I
This is
don't
what
know.
happens here.
well, you know what mankind thinks about Jews that we
Right.
kill
Uh-huh.
children.
Yeah, exactly. I
we
don't
treat-
immigrated
Those are
to
older.
America
I
and
understand. I
I
understand.
started working. I don't really look that Jewish, and then people say, "Where do you live?" Well, in Portugal. How can we live with all these Jews? I say, "Excuse me." Do you know
You're right.
who
There's
I am?
They're right. There's a lot of anti-Semitism in the world. You see me, I'm proud. I'm walking around with my kippah, right?
Oh, okay. I was never.
Listen,
I
it's
said,
much
"Listen,
serious
you don't
problem.
know."
Yeah, I agree.
Always,
But they literally
So
are
it was
religion is
open,
religion. Cult is
open.
cult.
I was trying to buy a house.
They do nothing
And
for
the realtor
for the community.
told
They do
me,
nothing for the community. They don't
go.
clothe people. They don't shelter people. They don't
Nothing.
feed people.
It's
They
not
take
a
money in.
religion.
So I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
So they have something like
Abba,
Do you understand?
Taki, where are you from?
Latvia from Riga.
oh, and I
From
get
Riga.
that
Belarus.
Belarus, okay.
this is not a protest against a religion by any means, and I agree with 100% that the religion should stand on its own.
Yes,
And-
I wouldn't pass any judgment on other religion. It's a free choice in the United States, and people should
Yep.
be allowed to practice what they believe in.
So-
I do not want people to solicit religion. For the same token, the Babbage Synagogue does it
Right.
on a regular basis.
But do you
And
feel
I am against it.
right? But do you feel? Here's the thing. In
Good night,
our,
Mexican.
in our religion, do we have people walking up and down trying to get you come, or it's there for the Jews? Right here, they want everybody. You have to be a Scientology. I'm Orthodox. My father's a big Rav.
So,
Different, yes, I'm correct. Okay, that's one small. Yes, I work for them in Evanston. So you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
I was invited. I went to the temple.
Which one?
Nice.
Okay, I know.
Our daughter
I know all
lives
the people.
there, and immediately the Rebbe
But you know what it's
tells me,
from?
"Bring your daughter. Bring your."
But
daughter." I
that's
said, "Wait a
for-
minute, my
but
daughter
that's for
belongs to
Jews.
different."
But this, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
I think you guys. I'm going to check the bottom of the alley. All right, I'll be back. Very nice to meet you. So the restaurants are starting to close down. Going past Bodega, it's closing down. Pilates is more of a 9 to 5 place, maybe a 9 to 7 place. The thing that I love about Ysireol is that he's just out here supporting the cause. And he's always here. I like that he comes out with Shannon quite a bit, right? So, and again, not to be overly sexist, but it bothers me a little bit when we have some of our less mobile members out here. And I do think that Chicago is basically a safe space. This is a very safe neighborhood because the police don't want any crimes going on here. So it's always nice that when we're seeing Ysireol down here. And he'll hold signs for us. Fun to talk to. He engages people. And he's an analytical mind. I think that Selfless is one of the... I love listening to Selfless talk because I think Selfless can debate on his toes so much better than most people can. Correct. Now, I'm guessing after the first couple million, then maybe it doesn't cost as much. I'm not really seeing anybody down in the hallway. Dave, did you see the video with the receipts? I knew that guy. I'm going to have to ask one of the mods to help out with that one. Yeah, I wish that was kind of like there was a tap reply, but there doesn't seem to be like a private message system in YouTube that I'm noticing. The only thing that the name does is it kind of highlights for them that it's showing up, or that there's some comment about them. Not seeing anything down here. Earlier we saw Laura kind of mention about the fact that we had him kind of locked up. Last Saturday, I was here basically from open to close, and at no point did the blinds go up. And about halfway through the day, I was getting suspicious because nobody was walking out the front door, and I finally was able to go around back. We had enough people out here that I could stand around back, and I could kind of ask them the question. They were all entering through the back door, and I could ask them the questions and everything that was going on in there. Thank you, Jen. And where are you finding all the icons? I'm gonna head back to the alley real quick. Oops. Thank you, Michael. Definitely helpful. 100%. I would love if you could do that, Sybil, and to see if they're comfortable chatting, and I can be reached here anytime. Yeah, I did see the skipping. You were busted. Great meeting you as well, Sybil.
It's pretty quiet back there.
Yeah. What time is it now?
9:30.
Yeah, so another 30 minutes. They found a Jewish family out front that they've been talking to for a bit because the people were very curious, like, what's wrong with this church? Why is there a problem? We have the church in the community.
The family was curious.
The family was curious.
Oh, that's good.
I think we're coming better up to speed on the conversation.
Yeah.
Did you guys end up going to monthly passes, or it's hard because it's
Yeah, I'm still doing day
Just border,
passes and weekend passes, but I think I am gonna get that month pass. It seems like the way to go. Oh, wow.
when you close your stream tonight. I assume you'll be halfway home on the. You guys don't go all the way home on the train, do you? I mean, you don't stream all the way home.
No.
When you close it down, send me an email. I got a question about some stuff.
Okay. Sounds good.
They did, Dave. So yeah, it's nice. It's brand new shiny lock and chain. And we already had a neighborhood person come by, mentioning that they were kind of pissed that where do they throw their dog droppings out now?
I find it really interesting though that there's only chains on that one dumpster because I actually found
Correct. That wasn't the one you used.
that wasn't the one I used, and I found trash in 2 dumpsters. So I mean, I assume they have another dumpster.
But they're going to consolidate now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's really what it was. I'm sure they talked to the neighbors and said, "This one's going to be ours, guys."
Yeah, and I'm sure that they're throwing nasty ass shit in one, and then
Yeah.
the
Yes.
good shit in the other.
Hey, who had a hard time with their Chinese food tonight?
I know they were both maybe dumpster diving like that.
There's somebody putting a coat on, but it's just a suit coat. Oh, here's the custodial guy. Yeah, and we have to stop saying janitor, please.
I just had a really cool conversation with some people that live in yeah.
Just saw some people putting on their coats, so I don't know if they're. They did walk out the gap that leads them to the front door, so we'll see what happens there. It's a keyed lock.
Yeah, very true.
That is the difference. The difference is that it's okay if it's wrong. Like,
100%. I've mentioned a little bit about the Dream Exchange company. If you go to the website, there's a blog post on that, and you'll see the images of the staff at Dream Exchange, and 9 of them have completed coursework in Scientology. Hey guys. Hello, Susan. Welcome in. So, quick update. When Trashy and SRA arrived, there was a person handing out flyers up on the corner up here at Harrison. As soon as they saw Trashy and SRA, they scuttled back to the org to go inside. we're here with Ysireol as well, and Ysireol was here before any of the live streams went up, and they were kind of out here talking to him, and all the shades were up, or blinds were up, the door was open, everything was fine. As soon as the stream started, they closed everything down. Here's somebody looking to get ready to leave. Now there is another way they can kind of sneak out the back. That usually they go out those double doors, but on the wall to the right of that double door, excellent. We've probably only got about 20 minutes, well, 25 minutes here before this closes. By the way, Dave's got a lot of the coursework or the books or some of the media that the church uses, and he'll go through them with you on his channel. He also does some auditing as well, so he'll head out to the our friend's back. The guy that walked out the back earlier.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what his name. I just want to call him jerk. The one that called us jerks.
Somebody called you jerks, right?
No, this was a while ago. We were helping somebody out. Yeah, one thing that I thought was interesting about the life history one. How you doing tonight? The life history one was it? Darn it! Oh, Reckless Ben. When Reckless Ben infiltrated and he signed his billion-year contract, he still had spyware glasses on. So I think the first question that you saw on the film was, "Are you homosexual?" So I know they accept everyone except for people that they don't agree with. And that just feels like it's like when you go to the police and say, yes, I robbed this store and then I went over there and I put a knife in somebody's back and then I went over here and I got some money from the government. It's like, stop telling them, stop snitching on yourself. That's terrible, Noah. Noah, did you get my text today? So we're going to get an opportunity to talk to a gentleman as he comes down the alley. Are you hair averse? Communication is a universal solvent. Would you like to communicate? Is there anything good about this church? What does this church talk to you? Why does this church hide? Why do they have to pull the shades down? What are they afraid of? What are they embarrassed by? If you can let the guys know that there's somebody going up to Polk Street, I'm sorry, to Harrison as well. There's two people that are exiting the alley at the top.
feels like that gentleman.
Yeah, Christy, something else that's kind of strange about this is that you'll notice if they approach somebody who is not a Scientologist, so if they're looking at a candidate on the street, when the police officers approach them, they are wall-to-wall smile, very happy. That's an opinion, and you're free to have it. For those of you that think I'm a bully, that's fine. I've only asked these people to help me understand about their church, and it turns out they can't. But yeah, like I said, they're rather smiley faced and friendly with everybody that they're approaching on the street as well. Thank you, Bridge. I think it was the large male that likes to call us jerks. I'll take that as constructive criticism, but just to know, I'm nobody's boss here. Everybody gets to do things the way that they want to. Like I'm not going to be somebody who yells and screams and it's a cult and shouting that. I just want to engage in conversation, and I'm asking real questions. Right? These are not hard questions to answer. I've had heat for people saying, "Why do I ask the police for their name and number?" And the simple reason is it's for my protection as much as anybody else's. I need to know what's being said about me, whether it's correct or incorrect. And I have every right to ask for any public record I want to. That's why we have FOIA. The government works for us. We don't work for the government. And that's fine, right? If you're not happy with the way that I'm protesting against this church, there's 1,000 other channels, and they're growing by the day. I really appreciate that I'm seeing similar names as I'm in here consistently on this. So I'm going to take that as a note that my efforts are being appreciated. Ellie, is this another one of your longtime friends? Yep, 100%. I've FOIA requested every police call that's been out here. I want to go to the CAPS meetings, and I think I've said that right, but Nance mentioned that there are meetings in each neighborhood where the police kind of have to sit and list the complaints. And these, I think, are valid complaints. This church is wasting resources. Right? The idea that there are BOMB threats being called in, there are mass bang bang threats being called in, and that is just wasting these resources. I really hate the idea that they, hey, there was a guy filming on the street today. Well, the police really shouldn't come for that. They should basically on the phone say, yep, That boy is doing a constitutionally protected activity. Have a nice day. But nope. And there are some that are, Sergeant Taylor is 100% in bed. And what was even scarier, the other night after one of the interactions, yeah, after one of the interactions, all of the police left except for one, and he talked to the woman and said, "Hey, can I talk to you inside?" So, yeah. If you can cite an exaggeration, I'd be more than happy to hear it, CTC. But I believe that I've been one of the most straightforward, non-hyperbolic people in the community. Hello, Mindy, and welcome. Hello, Sandy. Oregon. So you guys are right, like just now having sundown, I'm guessing. Oh yeah, and you know what? I haven't really said this tonight, but yes, thank you, mods. We just had somebody walk out the back. Looked like you just kind of did it to stretch. I really appreciate the mods help me. They keep the chat sane while I'm out here, and if I have to engage with somebody on the street, I'm able to do that. Oh, garbage just came out. That might have been the pizza place. I'm going to walk down there a bit. I assume that's Trashy looking at me from the other end. Oh yeah, that's the pizza place. So the pizza place has dark uniforms too, but they wear t-shirts, not suits. All right, I'm going to retreat back down to the head of the alley. I know that it makes one of my mods very uncomfortable when I'm back here as well, but it's a rather safe alley. There are some corners that people could pop out of, but for the most part, people can only enter from one side or the other. I've never really felt uncomfortable here, and I will tell you that if at any point I do feel uncomfortable, I will extricate myself from the situation as soon as possible. I'm going to do a real quick camera change. I'm going to put the telephoto on. So this does kind of look like a film noir detective story, right? No, that's, I see what you're saying. You can see somebody coming out from the front. Okay. So that's at the far end of the alley. You're seeing the silhouette. That's Trashy. Hey, well, I really want everybody to stay here. I know that Dave was just going to start up, Declare Dave and Love Suppressive Sherry. He was going to start up the Life History Forum over on his channel. So whether you go watch that now or in the morning, it's always fun for us to learn, especially the never ends, right? So I know that we've got people in here that are X or under the radar, but the never ends. It's good for us to see some of the housekeeping that this goes through. Yeah, that's what I need. I need a fedora, and I need a fake cigarette because I don't smoke. But and yes, there are lots of rats in here. It's fun. I think this camera is pretty good. I can see the rats. Every single one of the rats I can see, and I think I've got to be pretty close to them for you guys to see those rats. Very excited that we saw Laura in here tonight. I would like us to see better cross-contamination between the Chicago crowd and the LA crowd. I don't know about that, but we did have the sidewalk rat, which was a huge viral post. So there was a hole in a sidewalk that looked like a rat up on the north side. And when the city, after it went viral, after several weeks, the city finally filled it in. And the next day, the neighbors came out and chipped away all the fill-in to put the hole back. I think it's just called the Chicago rat hole. If you're on your phone, stay here. But if you're on a computer, you can go look up the Chicago rat hole. See, one of the things that's tougher about with the telephoto is I feel that any movement I make, it's much more noticeable on there. I'm gonna get you guys seasick on the camera. We're about 10 minutes to close, so we should start seeing publics flow out. Not sure how many publics are in right now. And then the staff members will come out shortly after that. I'm gonna head back over to the back camera. I'm gonna head around front to see what's going on with the guys. Chicago is beautiful at night. If you ever have a chance to visit, try to spend a night, stay overnight. You'll want a nice day. And we're going to see more nice days from here forward. We've got a little bit of drizzle coming down right now. Got Loyola University bus coming by. That is just a wrap to advertise the college. Oh, at the back? All right. I wonder if they were just watching me.
I can guarantee they were watching the stream. I can guarantee it.
Grab my mic real quick.
Should have known you were on this side.
I saw you at the other end. Or I saw you at the other end.
Yeah.
When I saw the garbage, did you see the garbage being flung? And it's like, oh my gosh, they put garbage out there, but it was the pizza place.
Yeah. a person walk into that like overhanging area.
Okay. So I've seen them go into the one that's really close to the pizza place, where the cars are at. But I haven't seen them really walk in anything further down here.
Interesting. I wonder if they're maybe allowed to park in there.
Maybe, but quite honestly, who's got a car? Like,
Yeah,
maybe public. Maybe public are allowed.
Yeah,
to.
like really, really far away from the public. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna look at. Oh, I'm gonna check out the pup groomer flyers. And we do need to have flyers. I do have one of my. I've got a QR code for one of my pages on the website. That's kind of. It's a short blurb on all of those crimes that are on that one file that I have. So I kind of want to have either a business card or, flyers about the size of the one that they have here. And on the one side, SPTV Foundation and the QR code, and on the other side, pretty much the crime, some set of crimes.
Yeah.
I want flashcards.
I know. I feel you. I need like a reference sometimes. That was interesting. I just saw
That's awesome.
Another person walking, but I don't know where the hell they just went.
So sometimes they might go up to if they know we're both down here, they might go over to Harris.
They maybe is I wonder. I was gonna say I wonder if there's an entrance around in there to get into this parking garage.
No. So, but there is the one out front, and we can walk through here.
Okay.
It's really strange how far back this garage goes because the blue parking sign that's out in front of that's this parking garage.
Yeah. Oh, pulling a car out.
So, and you said that you thought they went in there. Now that might be the pizza place.
I don't know.
Congratulations, Fuzzy. Yeah, Pup, can you email me? Because I would like to talk about that. What are some of the things that we can't put on there?
Are you part of Scientology?
I heard over there. It was the guy on the phone, I guess. It's like, what?
I think that lady is. She had a bunch of
The pins did make the same thing.
Interesting.
We're not sure whether or not there's a couple cars coming down here. It might be Scientology, and this just might be the pizza place. You see a little bit of rain coming out the bottom of that. That one might have been. Oh, so I bet that was loud. Got the popo coming down the street. Let's see what they were coming for. And so maybe there's real crime in the city. Oh, you got it. Oh, I was going to the garage. Sorry. Thank you.
Where do you pay for that parking garage?
You pay at that.
Oh, in the doorway.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because right, you can't walk out. So you drive in, you then leave through that spot. This one might also have, like, there might be a monthly pass. Oh. Yeah, he went down Federal Street. They might have monthly passes as well. But yeah, if you were on the ground floor over there, there's a kiosk.
Well, okay. You know what? I built a cannon and I did the.
How many of you had on most of the night?
Around like 60. Okay.
Yes. So you've got the version 2. I have the legacy version of DJI.
Okay.
I was hearing a complaint on that, but
This
I
is
haven't.
actually a pouch one.
No. Your mic too.
It's a ceremonic.
Okay, gotcha. Nice. Because I would say that the version 2 of DJI has a more round curve.
Okay, yeah.
I wonder what's going on there.
Yeah, right?
Hey, let's see if we can cause a ripple in the internet. I'm going to stream.
There we go.
I had when I had your other side, I was like, oh, cool, the mirror reflection, streaming of a stream of a stream. Oh, there's Scientologist coming out. He's bitching about it. Hey, George, where's the key? I got to throw some stuff out.
Yeah, right.
So are you just doing YouTube native then right now?
Yeah.
Is that? Can you see chat?
Yeah, I can't see.
Can you
chat.
highlight chat? Okay.
That's interesting. But you can't even do it in the YouTube app.
And there might be a setting that allows that. There were a couple of things that kind of confused me the first time I tried to do that. I was like, okay, wait, let me go back to what I know how to do. Hello, Lori. We're right about closing time here in Chicago. We've seen a couple of Scientologists peek out the back door. Probably want to get their smoking break in.
I think I'm going to walk through there and snoop around.
No problem. Trash is going to go set up, so we've got a 3-point zone going on.
I remember that.
I'm surprised he can skateboard down this alley. It is a trashy alley. There are bumps and all over in there. Trashy is stopped at the bay just before the pizza place. So there's kind of a little garage-ish or parking, loading dock would be the way to think about it. There's a little loading dock right there. And there's oftentimes cars parked in there. None of those should be Scientology, but Scientology might pay for those parking spots. Those are more likely registered to the businesses that are closer to this side. Hello, Sandy D. Hey, Trish, more than happy to help out. So I am somebody who is in Chicago protesting and educating about the crimes of Scientology. Right now, we are outside of the Chicago org. It's about closing time. Chicago org has two openings. You can come out the back in the alley, which is what they kind of tend to do when we're out in front. We have there's another streamer that's out front right now. My objective is not to help people leave Scientology. I don't think that I have that skill set. And those people are just far too brainwashed to come in. What I tend to do is I'm here during the day a lot when they're out passing flyers out to unsuspecting citizens. And whenever they pass out the flyers, I'll follow them around and I'll let the people that they're following, handing the flyers out to, know about the child abuse and the elder abuse and the family separation and the financial fraud and the abuses of children and others and how they cover up crimes. So if that's something you're interested in, I'd say 70% of the time I'm out here on the street broadcasting, and then the other 30% I might be doing a speed run or do interview panels and just other information sharing that I've got. Well, I had a really good experience. I guess it's 2 weeks ago now. So maybe a month ago, we saw Jessica escort somebody down the sidewalk who they had just kind of had read their first book, did the personality test. And they escorted him down the sidewalk. And I followed them the whole way, explaining all of the crimes of Scientology. And last week, that person messaged me on my video or commented on the video and said, hey, I was a little bit scared when all that excitement was going on out there. But when I did get home, I did do the research and I'm not in the church. I'm not a Scientologist. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that. So Tricia, if that's something that you think you'd be interested in, we'd be more than happy to have you. I've got an interview with Nana Boss on April 20th. And then I have 2 other interviews lined up. One of them is with an ex-Scientology from many, many years ago. And another one is a more recent Scientologist. Yeah, absolutely. And it's incredibly strange how, I think that there are very well-educated people that fall prey to the tactics of Scientology's, I'm going to say brainwashing. I just don't have a better way of saying it. But it's the idea that if I repeat a fact enough times, you'll understand it to be a fact, no matter whether it's true or not. And then PTS for Life, Jeff, he made a good analogy, which I got. And they strip your individuality and make you feel like you're part of a group. And once you're in that I feel part of the group, you can't leave. Well, you internally regulate such that you don't think you can exist without the group. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd love to see them try to do it back and forth to one another. I'm going to head back out to the front, see what the guys are up to. In some of the early videos, right after the organization opened up, the organization opened up on March 3rd, and then a week and a half later, I was out here, and they had already recruited people who were living, so therefore they had to be students at Columbia College, right next door to the organization. So they brought about 10 young kids into the org, and 3 of them came out and went to Columbia College, and they used their own ID badges to swipe in, so they must have been students. And then the other 6, my expectation is they left through the back door and they went out to some of the other local colleges. So where they're in Printers Row here in Chicago, 650 South Clark Street. And there is a dense population of college students here. You've got Columbia College, DePaul College, Roosevelt University, Robert Morris University. Loyola is kind of close. Loyola's in the area. If you go the other direction, you got UIC, which has a massive campus, and I'm sure they're on that campus proselytizing. And my objective is to just keep on finding those people and informing all of their potential initiates. So it looks like we've got the gentleman from across the street from Imprint and Ysireol, and then Trashy and SRE are here. As we look in here, we've got a member with their jacket on.
No, I got something.
So she's got her jacket on, and the person at the reception desk just pointed to the back door.
We're heading out, Windy.
All right, take care. Good seeing you.
Yeah.
Give me a call. Give me a call.
Yeah, have a good night.
Yep. It's day of. We're looking at one of the residents who lives across the street. Yeah, somebody just went out the back door. One of the residents who lives across the street had some pictures of the opening day ceremonies. Opening day, they had a permit to be out here. They violated the permit, and the police would not enforce the permit. They said, hey, talk to the building supervisor or the building department on Tuesday after the opening, which, again, would do no good. And then the alderman, in a very bold tone, said, hey, the next time you guys try and put a permit in, we're going to scrutinize a little bit more. But quite honestly, they're never going to put a permit in again, right? It was just there for opening day. Bring Davey in. Davey's never going to be at this building again in his life. Yeah, that he showed all of his followers that he had the clout to open up another ideal org in the 3rd largest city in the United States. And we will never see David Miscavige in Chicago again. Yeah, the way, and I'm gonna take religion out of this, but the idea that, college students are typically idealistic, and if you go and tell a college student that I've got a plan that'll help save the world, well, who doesn't want to save the world, right? Now, most of the students, there is an overwhelming sense of dread about this organization. So somebody did come out the back. They might have gone all the way up to Harrison instead of coming down here. And I think we saw that Trashy and SRA were heading out. And there's just a few people left in there. I don't think we're going to get much more out of them. And again, this isn't Publix, where I can kind of see if I can change their mind. What else? Yeah, when there was a Jewish couple up here earlier, and they were talking to Ysireol and SRA, and talking about the idea that they want to give religions a chance. It's like, well, this isn't a religion. Yes, they've gotten tax-free status as a religion. Nothing that this organization does is religious in any nature. I know of no religions that are so unhelpful to their communities as this is. Jen, thank you so much for that. Again, all of those funds are just used to, again, print flyers, create documentation, create the signs that we're using. If there's any other lives out there, or if Dave's still live, if we can start gathering up a raid, that would be awesome. I really appreciate everybody being here tonight. Tomorrow's graduation. I might come down for graduation. I don't know if we can see much other than the fact that we should see a large number of Publix that are in there.
How are you?
Very well. How are you doing?
I was just showing Trashy and the other guys the
So
pictures.
you have opening day stuff, don't you?
Yeah. I'm gonna see it, then I'll send it to you guys or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, you've got that. Can you take it? I'm going to put my email on here because I know before I tried to give it, but I think we missed it. So, can you take a picture of that?
What?
Can you take a picture of this phone so that way you can see my email?
Oh. See it like this.
Yeah. Oh, slow. Oh, I wonder if it was doing. It was trying to figure out the lighting. Okay, but now you've got.
I got it.
I'll do it one more time. I'll try not to let this.
So focusing on it.
Let's do it. I'll set it out here. Yeah, good. Yeah, I think that. Okay, and maybe it'll just so it's Windy City ThetanWatch. But now let me see your cool pictures. Hey, aren't you supposed to be in bed?
There's right outside the paint track taking it over there. There's all their equipment.
Saw their soundstage. Yep.
There's the group. They're trying to figure out where the fucking noise is coming from. And there's the gates. There's that big ass trailer on the side of this thing.
Right.
This is where they attacked the autistic guy right over here.
Yep. Yeah, they're
over here somewhere.
nice. Yes.
Just so you know, they leave out the back alley now.
I know.
Okay,
We've been going down there, but I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There's the black
Just the power station.
Power station, more power station trailers, power station. this shit, and they're blocking it off.
Did you have trouble getting up and down the street that day? Or were you inside most of the day?
I told her to smile. She's giving me the finger right there, flicking me off. So.
Nice.
Sorry?
Did you have trouble getting up and down the street that day, or were you mostly inside, so it didn't matter?
Well, they blocked me all of us off there, so right. I was hanging out front this whole day, pretty much. And then when they started the ceremony, I went out back to smoke. That's when this parking garage, someone set off the horns. I don't know if you heard that.
Nice.
The horns were going off.
Awesome.
And they're trying to figure it out, and then people were throwing marshmallows at them from the 5th floor.
That's
so
awesome.
They were getting pissed off, and some guy came in that works for him. He's like, someone's throwing marshmallows. Can you figure it out? And they're like, well, we don't know.
Right.
And they're like, well, it's on the 6th floor. And they're like, well, we're not going to knock on every floor to figure out who's throwing marshmallows at you guys. And he got upset.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that guy got upset is that because he wasn't able to solve the problem, when he got back here, he would have gotten in trouble because he didn't fix it.
Well, I don't see anymore.
Cool. All right, I got to take a nap. Good seeing you again. And I'm sure we'll see you again.
You'll be around this weekend?
Yeah, probably.
Nice out.
Yes, I like that. I like that we're getting nice weather. And they'll be out passing stuff out.
By the way, they're handing out flyers on
Yeah.
either end of the corner now.
I've seen, yeah.
All over the
So
place.
on Wednesday, I was out here, and every time they passed one out, I was able to contact the person and say it's a cult and let them know all the things about it. So I follow them around. That's what I really want to have stopped, because I'm not going to get any of those people to quit. I want to make sure they can't get new people.
The thing is, too, when I did the protest on Saturday,
Yep.
they were hanging out by the water tower. As I was walking there, and right by the bridge where that Scientology building is.
Yep.
And they're all up and down Michigan and Clark over there and whatever state. And they're handing out shit. And I was about ready to say, don't take any flyers because they're Latinos handing them out.
Correct.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah. And again, I need to get you my email, because if you ever see that, I want to get down here as quickly as possible to kind of chase them away. So.
And they're definitely by the river.
Yep.
So.
Excellent.
Here too, so it's like you need like the full-on
Correct.
crew to cover it all. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree. Yep. Take care now. Have a good night. Yes, there should be a room raid. All of you people go help somebody out right now. I'm going to walk for a couple of blocks. So while I was talking to him, a couple of the college students came by and said, hey, are you the ones that film? Yes. Hey, they go out the back. I was like, yep, we know. We know that they're embarrassed. Excellent. Let's head over and see Declared Dave. And Declared Dave is doing kind of an analysis of the life history form when you first come into the organization or want to start getting on course. Go get them, guys. I'm going to shut down, and I will see you later. Thank you all.